Tonight, released and rearrested again.
Certainly, I mean, it's a waste of judicial resources, except sometimes it's not, managing people is not the most efficient process.
Insight into a pattern and the questions.
Our community needs to know we are mindful of these situations.
Involving a high-risk sex offender. No more snow near a prime source of water. The province shuts down snow dumping at a pit in Wilmont. Bringing keyboards back.
A power bank that goes on the back of your phone, but with a slide-out keyboard.
The former BlackBerry workers who are throwing it back.
Smartphones have become really good at a lot of things, but when you're good at everything, you're not great at anything in particular.
For the future. Good evening. We begin with the latest on a high-risk sex offender in Guelph who's been repeatedly rearrested. Medani Johans is back behind bars tonight, taken into custody again yesterday, just hours after a court appearance. The pattern is putting the decisions made involving offenders into focus. CTV's Krista Simpson has been looking into this for us today and joins us live with more. Krista.
Tony, Medani Johans made a brief appearance in bail court today and was remanded into custody. This is just the latest in a series of arrests and rearrests over the last year and a half.
This was Medani Johans leaving Guelph Court Monday after pleading guilty to breaching the conditions of a probation order. He had been in custody since his arrest in July and was sentenced to time served. But within 2 hours, he was arrested again after Guelph police say their officers observed Johans going to an address he'd been told to stay away from.
Our community needs to know we are mindful of these situations. We are doing everything we can to make sure they are updated, they have the information they need, and we will also take the action that we deem appropriate to support them and secure their safety.
As Johans left court and returned into the community, Guelph police put out a release warning the public he is considered a high-risk offender and a particular danger to women. And it's not the first time they've issued such an alert. In August 2024, Johans was released after serving a sentence related to 2 stranger sexual assaults in Guelph. He failed to check in with Guelph police within 7 days and was soon arrested again. Since then, Johans has been in and out of custody for breaching court orders related to the conditions of his release.
We are one part of the justice system, and we can only do our role.
Guelph's police chief says officers work closely with the courts, but it's the courts that ultimately make decisions on sentences and releases.
I think the best option we have is always making sure our courts have the information they require in a timely way to make sure they can make the decisions, again, within the confines of the laws that exist that the courts are working with.
Certainly, I mean, it's a waste of judicial resources, except sometimes it's not, managing people is not the most efficient process.
Defense lawyer Kim Schofield says in complicated cases like this one, courts may need to look at options such as requiring electronic monitoring in the future or other orders.
Someone has to say, we need to pay a little more attention, not just in a punitive catch and release. So there can be counseling orders. So have a probation officer even attend court in order to come up with a plan that is judicially authorized.
Schofield adds that in certain cases there are applications Crowns can make, such as a request to designate someone as a long-term offender.
If he is a nuisance, we have to live with nuisance. We have to manage them as best as possible. But if truly a danger to the public, then there are options open that have a lot of teeth.
Johans is scheduled to return to bail court tomorrow. Tony.
Krista, thank you. CTV's Krista Simpson with that report for us. The sex assault trial of billionaire Frank Stronach has been delayed. It comes as his defense team has requested more time to deal with new evidence they've received in the past few weeks. CTV's John Woodward has more.
93-year-old Frank Stronach listening intently as his defense lawyers started the first open court hearing this week with a request to delay. His defense counsel, Leora Shemesh, saying she had just received 6 videotaped statements and needed time to go through them. Some observers took that as a red flag.
Okay, it's a little disturbing, I have to say, that on the eve of trial, literally, the defense is getting more disclosure. This is not an offense that happened a year ago or 5 years ago. These are old charges, and one would think that the prosecution would have their evidence together.
The auto parts magnate and one of Canada's richest men facing his first of 2 trials, this time 12 counts including sexual assault in cases in Toronto that stretch back almost 50 years. The second trial to be in Newmarket for incidents that allegedly took place as recently as 2023 in Aurora, Ontario, where his former company, Magna International, is based. Stronach has pleaded not guilty in Toronto. One major challenge for the case, time, which can cloud memories, and if evidence wasn't preserved then, it's often gone.
It's really hard to place yourself some 40, 45, 50 years ago as to where you were at a specific time. It's going to be a difficult case for both sides.
After the 15-minute open hearing, the court was closed again for pretrial motions. Justice Anne Malloy said she is required to keep the public out of these hearings thanks to provisions in the criminal code, which means they are likely discussing the complainant's medical records or their sexual history. Both sides said they hope to proceed soon, perhaps by Thursday, saying that any further delay after as much as half a century won't serve either side. John Woodward, CTV News.
2 people were sent to hospital after a vehicle flew off an overpass and onto the 401 over the weekend. Social media video shows a vehicle traveling south on Highway 427 going off an overpass and landing on the eastbound lanes of the 401 at Eglinton Avenue. It happened just before 7 p.m. on Sunday. The vehicle collided with a transport truck after going over the overpass. 2 people were taken to hospital with injuries considered non-life-threatening. The OPP say speed and snow may have been factors. Time for a first check on the weather now. Leanne's in with our forecast tonight, live in studio, joining us with the latest. And it's really been another day where we feel like we're sliding back into that sort of darker, snowier side of winter.
Yes, I know, Tony. And we were talking yesterday about how happy we both were to see all that sunshine.
Yeah.
We won't have it every day, but we have to appreciate when we do have it. And it popped out ever so slightly for just a little bit this afternoon, but mostly we saw lots of flurry activity throughout the majority of the day. Very light snow here in Waterloo region, and for many surrounding communities. You likely noticed if you were north of Waterloo region or along the north shores of Lake Huron, that snowfall was a little bit more consistent and likely a little bit more of a lake effect if you are in the Wyerton area through Mount Forest as well. Current conditions here locally, we're sitting at -9, so that cold snap kind of coming back into play again too. Winds out of the west-northwest gusting upwards of just about 22 kilometers an hour right now, and we are feeling that as we factor in the wind chill, feeling closer to -17 here locally. So we'll tell you what's in store for the rest of the week later in the long-range forecast, Tony.
All right, Leanne, thank you very much. So far this year, 2 stories have dominated the local news cycle: the record-breaking amount of snow we've gotten and the region's water capacity crisis. Well, tonight, those 2 stories converge as the province shuts down a snow dump in Wilmont over concerns about the impact on groundwater. CTV's Jeff Pickle reports.
It's known locally as the Holman Pit, a recently opened gravel quarry on Whitmer Road in Wilmont Township.
The issue is an assault against the environment in our communities.
Many residents in Wilmont are familiar and in 2023 spoke out against the zoning changes that allowed it to open.
Essentially on the other side of the woodlot.
This year, more complaints from neighbors as trucks of snow began to arrive.
We don't know where the snow's coming from. We don't know what's in said snow.
Neighbors and members of Citizens for Safe Groundwater, an organization advocating the preservation and protection of drinking water, say snow dumps can contain unsafe material.
It is a concern to us due to the fact that there may be contaminants such as things like salt, oil, gasoline from parking lots, from roads.
According to Farnan, the location of the Holman Pit makes this an even greater risk.
The gravel pit is the Waterloo Moraine, and that is a body of groundwater that feeds our regional wells.
The Waterloo Moraine, a source of concern as the region of Waterloo deals with a water capacity crisis, as they estimate they are nearing the capacity limit to support future population growth. The Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources confirms they told the pit's owners to stop, saying license holders must comply along with their approved site plan, any applicable license conditions and associated regulations. In this instance, snow dumping is not permitted under the approved licensed or site plan, and the licensee has been advised to cease importing snow. At this point, it's unclear where the snow is coming from. However, the township of Wilmont confirms it's not its snow. Farnan says the source of the snow is one of many things they want to know.
We want to know, A, what's the remediation plan, and B, we'd like the ministry to make public where the snow is coming from, and potentially go on site to test the snow.
We reached out to the owner of the property for comment, but did not hear back. Jeff Pickles, CTV News, Wilmont Township.
A derailed GO train has been removed from the tracks now near Union Station, but the impact of that derailment is still being felt right across the system, including along the Kitchener line. Commuters today were dealing with more delays, more than 24 hours after that derailment. CTV's Allison Hurst has the latest.
Now boarding from platform 21.
For a second day, commuters deal with delays on the GO train.
I came in from Hamilton, so it was like pretty much an hour delay.
They stem from a Kitchener line train that derailed around 8:15 yesterday morning, shortly after leaving Union Station. Photos taken by a passenger show a signal that appears to be wedged under the train.
It took me a while to get in yesterday, about 4 hours, coming from Kitchener.
Wendy Winkle says that's twice as long as her usual commute, so today she left early, saying she's seeing fewer trains running.
There's only, I think, 3 going back to Kitchener this afternoon, and there'd normally be about 6 or 7 or 8, I'm not sure. So there's less.
According to Metrolinx, they're operating on a special schedule to accommodate the ongoing work to fix the tracks.
I got here early for that one, but now I have to wait the hour. So kind of annoying, but it's fine.
The derailment caused major delays throughout yesterday as commuters packed the concourse.
Delays made about 3 hours to get home yesterday.
It was just a disaster.
I was delayed. I couldn't take the train.
Crews worked through the night to remove the train and have spent the day tending to the tracks, while commuters report the delays haven't been as long.
Came from Guelph and the train was delayed about 15 or 20 minutes, which was fine.
15-minute delay. Yesterday I actually swapped the tracks in Pickering. I come from Pickering, so instead of being on track 1, it went to track 2. Then when we got here last night, it was an hour and 40 minutes last night. So it's getting better, but it's still a little bit delayed.
The TTC is providing extra service today to try and support transit riders through their commutes.
Allison Hurst with that update at Union Station. A New Democrat member of Provincial Parliament is set to make a switch to federal politics and run for the Liberals in a Toronto by-election, looking to fill the seat that was recently vacated by longtime MP Bill Blair. CTV's Siobhan Morris has that story.
We recognize the member for Scarborough Southwest.
After more than 7 years on the opposition benches as a New Democrat,
Triple the cost, all under this government's watch.
The Ontario NDP's deputy leader, Dolly Begum, has resigned to seek a federal seat with Mark Carney's Liberals.
As a leader and as a friend of hers, I'm a little heartbroken. You know, it's hard to get over it.
The spot vacated by Bill Blair, quitting as an MP for a new gig as High Commissioner to the UK.
It's a really significant event. It means there's going to be a by-election in Scarborough, and that could be a jump ball between all 3 parties.
Begum's last victory in 2025 wasn't a blowout, so the riding could be competitive in that by-election that the Premier has 6 months to call.
My focus right now is on representing and making sure that the community of Scarborough Southwest remains well represented by New Democrats.
Stiles sidesteps a question about what the defection of her deputy says about the state of the party. But the uneasy ground has created an opening.
I think we've got to take another crack at it.
MP Nate Erskine-Smith says he'll seek the nomination with the Provincial Liberals to run in Scarborough, a precursor to a second attempt at the party's leadership. On Parliament Hill, there's lots of noise about more political poaching, more floor crossings.
There are suggestions that there could be more by-elections created. It feels like Mark Carney is playing some political cards here, and he may not be done with his deck just yet.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
If you ever miss sending texts on a BlackBerry, well, this next story may be of interest. Turns out some former BlackBerry employees are bringing back the idea of a physical smartphone keyboard, and they've dubbed the new phone the Communicator. Let's go to CTV's Spencer Turcotte, who's been checking this out for us today. Spencer, this is actually not this company's first time testing out the keyboard.
Yeah, not at all. Clicks is known for its keyboard attachments, and they recently unveiled a new attachable slide-out keyboard that includes wireless charging. And with the new standalone phone, they hope to simultaneously take us back in time and push us forward.
It's been quite some time since people were walking around with phones like this, the BlackBerry. But some former BlackBerry employees are bringing smartphone keyboards back in a new way through their company, Clicks.
We started in 2024 with the Clicks keyboard case. Smartphones have become really good at a lot of things, but when you're good at everything, you're not great at anything in particular.
Clicks co-founder Jeff Gadway wanted to be great at one thing, physical phone keyboards. Over the last couple years, they've come out with a couple iterations like the Power Keyboard.
A power bank that goes on the back of your phone, but with a slide-out keyboard, whether it's the auditory feedback or the actual feeling of the buttons underneath your thumbs, you can type with more confidence, more precision, and just do more on your phone on the go and not have to wait to get back to your desk.
Gadway's team has taken it a step further, though, making an entirely new phone that incorporates a physical keyboard.
The keys here you'll see are kind of ergonomically contoured.
They've called it the Communicator, a standalone phone with an emphasis on messaging and productivity.
What we've found is that there's a group of people today that really want to be better at communicating, taking action, avoiding distraction, doing versus doom scrolling.
Aside from the keyboard, it has a rear camera, 3.5mm audio jack, operates on Android 16, and has the Google Play Store. But its messaging and productivity apps are in focus. The idea being that the Communicator can be a second phone or even a work phone with your typical smartphone geared towards content and, in turn, more distractions.
What we've done is built a signal light into the prompt key here on the side. So when somebody like a VIP or maybe an app that's important to you is looking to get your attention, this will light up.
Don't think it's just an older demographic that's interested in the physical keyboard.
I think the option of having it there is always great.
Sometimes keyboards don't actually show up when you press the keyboard button. It's always like lagging and whatnot.
It was just fun to play with as a kid. I think it's pretty nostalgic as well.
Gadway believes younger people may be looking to reshape their relationship with technology.
45% of our customers have never typed on buttons before.
As for when people can get their hands on this new phone, it can be pre-ordered for $399 and will be available later this year. The hope being the keyboard resurgence sticks or clicks.
And another thing worth noting, that signal light on the side of the new phone can be customized with different colors, so definitely a cool feature to categorize who you do or don't want to respond to. Tony.
All right, love it. Spencer, thank you. CTV Spencer Turcotte with another great story from our local tech community tonight. And we have much more ahead on CTV News at 6, including a new chapter for a local food bank, plus the great light rail refund debate in Cambridge. CTV's Alexandra Hollick will be here to set up a councillor's push to have the city be reimbursed for a service that doesn't operate within its boundaries.
Well, we knew it was coming. We saw some flurry activity here in Waterloo region on our Tuesday afternoon, and we'll see a little bit more snowfall a little bit later on in the week. We'll break that all down coming up in the long-range forecast. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
The Cambridge Food Bank is preparing for a new beginning. They'll soon be moving into a brand new home and out of the location that they've outgrown over the last 25 years. CTV's Karis Mapp has more on the significance of this move for a group focused on helping the hunger crisis.
And then this is the third area. The building has been purchased and planning is underway at 384 Franklin Boulevard, where the Cambridge Food Bank will be moving. The 31,000 square foot space used to be home to the bolt and nut supply. Food Bank CEO Diane McLeod said she's most excited about the potential for the new space compared to where they currently are.
It's more than twice the size, but what's really beautiful about it is that it's all on one floor, so we don't have to worry about bringing thousands of pounds of food up in an elevator.
The purchase of the building was finalized on Monday with a $4.3 million price tag. Later this year, fundraising efforts will begin.
Our capital campaign is in addition to our annual campaign, and it's focused on just making this transformational project come to be.
With the goal of raising $10 million.
We will need support from the individuals and community, but also we're looking to expand a little bit into corporate, more so than we ever have before. So there are some pretty big numbers to reach.
The bulk of those funds will go towards renovations and stocking.
It's just a box right now, so we'll be putting in our community pantry, our admin area, commercial kitchen, efficient shelving and equipment.
Plans also include building a greenhouse beside the warehouse.
We grow thousands of pounds of food every year at our 2 community gardens, and we want to have our own greenhouse in order to start our seedlings.
Staff and volunteers I spoke with all say they're excited for the future move to the new building, but are forever grateful for the last 25 years here at 54 Ainsley Street.
We will certainly miss it. There's been a lot of history that has happened over the years on that building, and I think what we'll probably do is invite people to come in and say goodbye before we leave.
The hunt to find a new location has been in the works for over 6 years now, with many non-negotiables in mind, such as access to public transit.
We know that lots of folks who use the food bank take the bus, and so the bus stop is about a 4-minute walk from here.
Operations won't pivot to the new space until all work is done inside.
Time taken to renovate and whatnot, and then we'll be heading into our busy season at Christmas, which won't be a time that we would want to relocate, so hopefully sometime early next year.
Karis Mapp, CTV News, Cambridge.
And still in Cambridge, a city councillor's call for a light rail refund in that city is on the table tonight. Councillor Helen Schwery says the city has contributed millions to a project that only serves Kitchener and Waterloo. Let's bring in CTV's Alexandra Hollick, who's going to be following this conversation for us tonight. Alexandra, what message is the councillor hoping to share at that meeting this evening?
Ultimately, Tony, Councillor Schwery says it all comes down to fairness and transparency for Cambridge residents who feel like they shouldn't be paying for a service that doesn't serve them. The Ion Light Rail transit system currently runs through Kitchener and Waterloo, but its construction, operations and maintenance are partially funded by the City of Cambridge.
We paid $60 million towards the capital costs of the Kitchener-Waterloo Ion.
But now one Cambridge councillor is asking for the city to be reimbursed.
We want that money back, because not only, it didn't serve us, and also the townships aren't paying towards it. So if it didn't serve us, why did we have to pay?
Plans to expand the LRT to Cambridge were greenlit by the region of Waterloo back in November. Construction costs for that stage of the Ion are set to be mostly covered by the federal and provincial governments.
We pay towards theirs, they're not paying towards ours. When the Ion comes to Cambridge, we can look again at the funding and the operating costs. But right now, we're not getting any benefit.
Ward 1 Councillor Helen Schwery says the region has been reaping the benefits of the light rail line on the backs of Cambridge taxpayers.
They've also claimed they received $5 billion in economic benefits because of their LRT. So we didn't. And that's another reason why asking for the money.
Schwery says she's also asking for fairness and transparency.
Some people say it will destroy Cambridge's credibility. No, asking for fairness and transparency strengthens Cambridge's credibility. But when we continue to pay for something we're not using, and it does not.
Also on the agenda tonight, council salaries. A report dives into pay discrepancies for councillors and the mayor and offers recommendations that will be discussed at the meeting. And that gets underway in just a few minutes, and we'll have the latest updates tonight at 11:30. Tony.
Okay, we'll see you then for the details. Alexandra, thank you. CTV's Alexandra Hollick reporting. And let's stay in Cambridge and bring you this live look from Hespeler tonight. Doesn't look too bad out there weather-wise right now. We've been navigating a little bit of everything today. Some clouds, some snow flurries, even a peak of sunshine at one point. But feeling like it's getting colder, for sure. Leanne's back in just a couple of moments with our forecast for the rest of the week. And also ahead, could Ingersoll be getting ready to rev up production of electric vehicles once again? There are whispers about a potential deal to get the lines moving again at the Kami assembly plant. And next, eye-opening new data about how often heart disease and stroke are killing Canadians. Well, I don't like the trend that's happening this week with the weather. Our amount of sunshine is reducing as the week goes on.
Yeah, but hey, don't speak too soon because tomorrow's looking pretty good.
Well, that's good. Okay.
Today, though, we definitely saw flurries on and off through a lot of the day. I don't know if you got out for your walk, but I noticed there was blowing snow out there for a couple hours,
I didn't,
too.
But I'll tell you, by the time I opened the curtains this morning, it was one of those moments where it was snowing, and I went, oh.
And you said, close them back up.
Close them back up.
I'm staying inside today. You got to embrace it. You just got to bundle up, get out there, because you know what? It's been a long winter, and we're only halfway through it.
We are only halfway through. So, in other words, it can only get better from here.
Exactly. And look at this live look from downtown Hespeler tonight, where it does look very winter, picturesque. And we were kind of taking a sneak peek at it. Kind of looks Christmassy, doesn't it?
Kind of does, yes. And, you know, nothing wrong with a little festive look to help us navigate this cold.
Exactly. The beauty of winter and the lights is what makes it so pretty. Of course, great shot from Hespeler tonight. But yeah, we saw some flurry activity throughout most of the day in Kitchener, Waterloo, through Cambridge as well. And that will be the trend into the evening hours. You can see those lake effect bands are still continuing to build as we get into the later evening hours. But then this system really does dissipate and move out of the region into the overnight hours. By tomorrow morning, we're waking up little tiny bit of cloud cover in the early morning hours, and throughout the day, plenty of sunshine for us here in Waterloo region and for many communities right across southern and southwestern Ontario. You may notice a pop-up flurry or two if you're north of Mount Forest. However, tomorrow's looking like a gorgeous middle of the week. Okay, let's take a look at temperatures across the country. It is 12 degrees in Vancouver at this hour and 8 in Calgary. Boy, oh boy, are they ever lucky out there to have this warm up when we're experiencing a little bit of a cold snap, the same as the folks in Winnipeg at -12. It's -1 in Saskatoon, a little closer to home, -5 in Toronto, -7 through Ottawa, and again in Montreal as well. And on the East Coast, it's -1 in Halifax, -7 in Fredericton, -4 in St. John's, where they are cleaning up from a wicked winter storm. My dad is there. He told me they got hit with a lot of snow in Newfoundland throughout the past 48 hours. Here in Waterloo region, -5 was our daytime high. It's right on par for seasonal at this time of year. The sunset tonight at 5:36. So again, those days still getting longer, even though we didn't see a whole lot of sunshine. We did have a beautiful sunset locally tonight. It's currently -9, so temperatures have fallen off ever so slightly from our daytime high, -7 through the GTA, -9 in Hamilton, through London as well. Now with the wind chill, even though the wind speeds are fairly light this hour, we are still noticing it playing a factor, feeling closer to -17. That's where you feel that bite when you're spending time outdoors. It's feeling closer into the minus teens for many of us across southern and southwestern Ontario. Now temperatures continuing to fall as we get into the overnight hours. -18 is what we will drop to. It will feel closer to -24 when you factor in that wind chill. Chance of flurries, again, we talked about it persisting through the overnight hours, just kind of like what we saw throughout the day today. However, things do clear up as we get to about the 3 o'clock mark overnight tonight. -8 will be our daytime high tomorrow, but the sunshine is going to make it feel all the better. And as we take a look at the rest of the week, I do want you to notice the overnight lows over the next couple of days. -23, the overnight low for tomorrow. So it will feel quite chilly. We'll be happy to see all that sun. And as you can see, if we look ahead to an early look at the weekend forecast, plenty of sunshine in store for us here in Waterloo region through Lambton, Kent, and Essex as well. Daytime high high by the time we get to Saturday, and your area will be -8. What we are keeping an eye on is the snow that is forecast overnight Thursday into Friday for all of us across southern and southwestern Ontario. So we'll talk more about that, of course, as we get a little bit closer to watching that system move in as we approach Thursday. Okay, let's take a look at tonight's Weather Watcher picture. It is from Adam, who sent in this photo of a vertical rainbow. Wow.
That's
I don't
cool.
think I've ever seen one of those.
I haven't either.
That's gorgeous.
That looks really unique, and how cool to capture that.
Yeah, beautiful photo. And it kind of looks like the sun is playing a little bit of a factor there, too, in the lighting as well. Adam, thank you for sending that gorgeous winter shot.
It's beautiful. And like you said, we'll have to keep an eye on that snow that's coming in later this week, because I don't know, well, you do remember this from last year. I remember it as well. The first Saturday night in February last year, we had a massive snowstorm right in the middle of the weekend.
Was it the first Saturday night?
It was the first Saturday night. Yep.
So we'll have to see what happens. But right now, this is looking like overnight Thursday into Friday. But as you know, these systems can change. The wind directions change them. And who knows, maybe it'll be a repeat of last year.
We'll see how it all unfolds. All right, Leanne, thank you.
Thank you.
A frightening statistic to share with you now. Every 7 minutes, someone in Canada dies from heart disease or stroke. And a new study suggests it's because we're not doing enough to stay healthy. CTV's Heather Wright on what that means and what you can do to turn things around.
What started as mild heartburn suddenly became much more serious for Elena Stronach.
I woke up one night in the middle of the night with crushing chest pain. And even then, I thought, you know, I'm too young for this to be a heart situation.
At just 40 years old, Stronach had 100% blockage of one artery and partial blockage of two others. She was taken in for emergency surgery. Nearly 11 years later, Stronach credits changes to her lifestyle for keeping her healthy.
I quit smoking, I lost weight, I changed my eating habits, I radically reduced the amount of stress that I was under.
According to a new report from the Heart and Stroke Foundation, 9 in every 10 Canadians have at least one risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Lifestyle risks include smoking, poor diet, stress, lack of sleep, and lack of physical activity. And while some risk factors like genetics, gender, age, and air pollution can't be changed, experts say 80% of premature heart disease can be prevented with lifestyle changes.
We're surrounded by unhealthy food options. We aren't as physically active as we once were. Most people work in sedentary jobs. So for those reasons, it can be more difficult, and we have to make conscious effort to live healthfully.
And while some risk factors like smoking are declining, others are on the rise. For example, 1 in 4 grade 12 students say they vape, while the number of Canadian adults living with high blood pressure has increased every year since 2000.
While the death rate from heart disease and stroke has decreased by about 80% over the last 70 years, these diseases still cause 1 in every 5 deaths in Canada. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A new push for more social media limits for kids. Coming up, safety advocates hit Parliament Hill today pushing for a new law. We'll take a closer look at that next. There is hope tonight for the hard-hit auto sector in Ingersoll. A potential deal to once again rev up production of electric vehicles at the Cami assembly plant under European ownership. CTV's Jerry Dewan is looking into this.
Dozens of bright drop vehicles wearing the Chevy tag remain in a compound on the Cami property in Ingersoll. Production was stopped in the fall, with General Motors saying there were no plans for a return. But there are reports emerging that the bright drop may still have a future.
The Dumouriez Group is an independent provider specializing in the development, integration and production of cutting-edge propulsion systems.
The Belgium-based Dumouriez Group is said to be exploring the idea of buying the Cami plant. The report comes from the online automotive trade journal GM Authority, which has a history of being tapped into GM operations. It cites sources close to the discussions.
An innovative, diversified Belgian company might be really high on the list of who might be a good fit.
Brendan Sweeney is managing director with the Trillium Network for Advanced Manufacturing. He says Dumouriez takes a progressive approach to new tech.
They're diversified. They engage with a number of different technologies, including fuel cells. which is a really interesting play for Canada that might get gain more steam.
The GM Authority report indicates Dumouriez CEO and founder Guido Dumouriez will tour the Cami plant in the near future. But Brendan Sweeney says the plant will never see the halcyon days, which saw 3,000 workers fill the plant when it produced Chevy Equinox and GMC Terrain vehicles.
My guess is they need a few hundred people. They are willing to do this, and it could serve as a good platform for growth. And it certainly would be better than an idle factory.
Sweeney says there continues to be a significant shift in auto production in Ontario, noting analysis from the Trillium Network released on Monday, with Japanese-based companies becoming the dominant players.
Last year, Toyota produced 537,000 vehicles. Honda produced 401,000 vehicles. And the three U.S.-based automakers combined produced 321,000 vehicles combined.
The Trillium Network notes that in the last 10 years, overall production has dropped from 2.3 million vehicles a year to 1.2 million vehicles a year. In Ingersoll, Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
Recapping our top stories now on this Tuesday, CTV's Alexandra Hollick in studio with us, and we're looking at questions over the repeated arrest of a sex offender in Guelph.
Tony, Guelph's police chief says they're mindful of the situation, and while officers work closely with the courts, it's ultimately up to the courts to make sentencing and release decisions. Madani Johans was rearrested yesterday, only hours after a court appearance. He's been in and out of custody for breaching orders related to his release conditions. One defense lawyer says the system is not always efficient in managing offenders, and additional monitoring options may need to be considered. The province has stopped snow dumping at a pit in Wilmont over concerns about the local groundwater supply. A citizens group says it's not clear what could be in the snow being dumped at the Holman pit or where it's been coming from. They're concerned about the potential impact on groundwater in the face of the region's ongoing water capacity crisis.
And Alexandra, on our website, our digital team has another story tonight about a high-scale theft in the area.
Tony, we're talking about almost $3,000 worth of baby formula. Police have put out photos of 4 men they want to find over incidents that happened back in November. To see those photos and read more, just head over to our website by scanning the QR code on your screen or heading to ctvnewskitchener.ca. You can always find us on the CTV News app as well. Tony?
Alexandra Hollick recapping our top stories. Thank you very much. Well, research shows that kids are spending more time on social media these days. Today in Ottawa, advocates called for change, pushing the federal government to table and pass a child-centered online safety act. Now, it comes as other countries are introducing laws restricting social media use for children. CTV's Austin Lee has more.
For kids today, it's impossible to envision an internet-free world.
It's where we learn, it's where we play, and it's also where we connect with our friends, maybe where we live. But it's also where kids get bullied, where we see things we were never ready for, and it's where mistakes can follow you forever.
And although social media has its benefits,
I've made international spaces and chats where we're able to create projects, share perspectives, broaden our horizons and understanding of different issues.
In a world connected through technology, there are real risks.
I've definitely seen the impact social media has had on youth, has had on loneliness, has had in the education sphere as well.
The federal government's proposed Online Harms Act, Bill C-63, expired in January of last year after former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resigned and prorogued Parliament. But advocates have not stopped their calls to protect kids from being exposed to harmful and graphic online content.
We're pleading with government to act, to do what we know is right for our children, to table this legislation and to act, and to stop with delaying tactics like online studies. You know, we have mountains of evidence.
In Australia, you must be at least 16 years old to access the 10 most popular social media platforms, such as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. In France, a similar age restriction is being reviewed, and here in Canada, some advocates want to take things a step further.
We need much broader legislation that looks at the comprehensive digital environment that kids live in, and that really holds the entire tech industry, not just the social media industry, but the whole tech industry to account.
What that legislation could look like is still unclear. In a statement to CTV News, Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture Mark Miller says in part, our government intends to act swiftly, adding, they will have more details to share in due course. Some students say it should be a balancing act.
Finding a middle ground, I guess, finding how to place regulations without completely stripping the youth of their ability to navigate those platforms.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
Coming up, helmets on the sliding hills, the new recommendations out of a prominent children's hospital when it comes to a winter tradition. Tobogganing is a popular winter activity, but McMaster Children's Hospital is outlining some safety concerns for those heading into the snow. The authors of a report are suggesting kids should be wearing helmets when hitting the slopes. CTV's John Musselman reports.
Stephanie Mazzullo homeschools her children, so they had a chance to go tobogganing in Etobicoke today during a break in studies.
They like the speed.
It can be a lot of fun for kids, but a new study by experts at McMaster Children's Hospital shows head injuries for children are on the rise. And while most injuries are considered minor, the study shows children required x-rays and CT scans after sledding into trees or fences, causing significant trauma.
We see anything ranging from concussions to skull fractures to brain bleeds.
The study shows that of all the children injured, more than half were boys. Quote, children and teens routinely wear helmets when skiing and snowboarding, where they can control their speed, yet not when sledding, where they often have no control over how fast they go. Most injured children were between 6 and 10 years old, with the average age of about 9, and just over half were boys.
Essentially, these kids are going at speeds, at high speeds, and ending up in a fixed object, so we treat it like a trauma.
The study is not calling for a ban on tobogganing as a winter pastime. Instead, medical experts recommend better safety measures, like ski or hockey helmets for kids before they head down the hill.
Maybe because I grew up in the 90s and we never really wore helmets. But now that you brought it up and the hill is so steep, maybe it is safer.
Expectation that helmets are worn. Similar to, like I said, skiing and snowboarding. It's just sort of, that's what you do if you go skiing and snowboarding. Now I think similarly that's what you do when you go bike riding. So we should just sort of, it's a cultural expectation.
Medical experts say for added safety, they recommend kids sit or kneel on a sled versus lying down, which can increase the risk of head injuries. John Musselman, CTV News.
We'll have more news coming up in a few minutes. First, let's check in with Leanne.
From flurries to sunshine, tomorrow is looking like a beautiful middle of the week. We'll break it all down coming up in your Wake Up Weather next.
Another cold night outside means a good night inside. For your TV lineup, Best Medicine at 7, Will Trent at 8, High Potential at 9, and then back-to-back, The Big Bang Theory.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Sarge with Bounce 99.5's 4K Double Play.
We're giving away $4,000 for 2 songs back-to-back.
Listen weekdays 6A to 6P for back-to-back songs from the artist of the day.
Then go to bounce995.ca for your chance to win.
All right, we're going to check in with Alexandra Hollick one more time to take a look at what we're working on for later tonight. Alexandra.
Tony, a Cambridge City Council meeting is currently underway, and there are 2 key items we're keeping an eye on. The first, Councillor Helen Schwery's motion asking the region to reimburse Cambridge taxpayers for their share of the Ion Light Rail transit system. The second, a report diving into pay discrepancies between the salaries of councillors and the mayor. We'll have those details from tonight's meeting and more news later at 11:30. Tony.
Alexandra, thank you. We will see you then. And you've been getting some feedback from our viewers throughout the hour ever since we shared that picture of the vertical rainbow.
Yes, we called it a vertical rainbow. And thank you to everyone who's been emailing in, letting us know that that is a sundog. And I always thought the sundog had kind of like the wrap around.
Yeah,
the
more
sun,
like a
you know?
halo.
Yeah. So that's
appearance.
the only way I've seen a sundog photo before. I haven't seen it in that form, so I guess that's also a sundog.
Light can do incredible things.
I know. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, viewers.
And it was
Appreciate
beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about wake-up weather, because tomorrow going to be a little nippy when we're getting up nice and early. If you're making your way out the door, bundle up. But it is going to be a beautiful Wednesday. We're going to see plenty of sunshine out there in Waterloo region, so get out, enjoy the winter. Great day to check out Chicopee, hit the ski hill.
Oh, yes. It was busy last night, too.
Now that I've been skiing and snowboarding this winter, I'm all about it.
Take advantage of it. Well, finally for us, top prize at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show will be handed out tonight. All the doggos were getting primped as they get ready to compete for Best in Show at Madison Square Garden in Manhattan this evening.
Yeah, all of the 200 breeds represented at the show have a certain look their owners and handlers need to maintain for the judges. This year marks 150 years of the famous canine competition. Do you think I could get Ruby in there?
I was just wondering that because Ruby's adorable, first of all. She lets me hold her like a cat.
I think she would actually do really well at something like that. And, you know, I'm all about the fashion and fun, so we'd have a good time.
I think you might be onto something there.
All right, somebody give me some tips for how to get involved in these kind of things.
Westminster Dog Club, the best of the best. Ruby could join them.
Yeah, watch out. 5 years from now, Ruby, top dog.
That's our time. Thank you for watching. We'll be back here tonight with your next local news at 11:30. Have a good night.
Good night.